If you want to get a perfect score on your SAT math, you need a bulletproof prep routine that's proven to work without burning you out or draining your wallet. In this video, I'm going to lay out the exact proven prep routine that thousands of top scorers are secretly using. Now, a little bit about me. I studied math and biochemistry, graduated magna cum laude, and attended Harvard for grad school. More importantly for you, I've meticulously analyzed hundreds of official SAT math questions. I've broken down not just the content, but the very logic behind how the test is built. And here's the good news, that the SAT is one of the most predictable standardized tests out there. With the right strategy and a consistent prep routine, significantly raising your score isn't just a hopeful wish. It's a highly probable outcome. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the precise weekly routine you need to follow right up until the test day. This is the exact weekly routine I provide to my private students. It's simple, repeatable, and it works. This effective prep routine has 3 steps. Step 1 is the weekly practice. Step 2 is a method of note-taking. And finally, step 3 is a review method that locks in true mastery. By the end of the video, you will have a clear, repeatable plan that you can follow every single week to steadily raise your SAT math score. For part 2 and 3, I've put together a template for the note-taking and review method, which you can download from the link in the description box below. Now, let's dive straight in. Step 1, test. Take weekly practice tests. A non-negotiable for every week is to sit down and take a full-length timed practice test in the Blue Book. Depending on how many weeks you have and how ambitious your scoring goal is, you can take 1 or 2 or even 3 practice tests a week. It builds pacing, stamina, and nerves of steel so that the test day will feel routine to you. It's like training for a boxing match. You wouldn't dare step into the ring on fight night having only watched YouTube highlights of boxing stars, right? Of course not. You'd get in the ring yourself, you'd spar, you'd learn how to take a few hits so that when the actual fight comes, you don't get knocked out in the first 5 minutes. So I'm glad you're taking the first step of watching this video to learn about SAT strategies. Please do apply the strategies you learned and take your practice tests. Every weekly practice test is 1 round of practicing in the rain. It trains your brain to think clearly under pressure, to manage your time effectively, and to stay calm when you're stuck. There's science behind why all this strategy works. It is called the testing effect. Research shows that when you are actively testing yourself on the material rather than just passively reviewing it, your brain holds onto that information for a significantly longer period of time. In a landmark 2006 study by the psychologists Roediger and Carnegie, college students who repeatedly tested themselves on material remembered up to 80% of it a week later. In contrast, students who only review the material, even multiple times, remembered only about 36%. That is a monumental difference. Now that we get the non-negotiable out of the way, let's talk about the more advanced stuff, which is actually quite relevant to you if your goal is to get as close to 800 as possible. Great athletes don't just play games, they also drill individual skills. I'm hosting the SAT Math High Scorers live workshop that breaks down the exam into 8 core problem types, specifically for the students aiming for 760 and above. You will get a set of practice problems for all 8 problems to work on your own after the workshop. If you currently score between 650 and 750 and would like to break into the 760 club, this live workshop is just for you. You can find the registration link in the description box below. Moving on to step number 2, collect. Take notes after each practice test. Okay, so you've just battled through your weekly practice. Maybe you crushed it. Maybe it crushed you. Either way, what comes next is step number 2. And this is what separates the 700 from the 750s and beyond. You need to collect every single mistake from that test into what I call your Mistakes to Mastery notebook. This notebook is your secret weapon. Think of it this way. Your mistakes are gold mines. Every question you got wrong is a brightly lit neon sign pointing directly to the gaps in your math understanding. If you just glance at it and move on, that's like your GPS loudly announcing, "Turn right here" to reach your destination.
Turn
and
right.
you casually
Nah,
replying,
I'm good. Let's just keep driving in circles.
Now, don't drive in circles. Take advantage of your mistakes to make sure you don't make it again on the test day. For every single mistake, do these 2 things. Copy the question onto your notebook. You can get a free copy of the notebook template I have specially designed for this purpose. The link for the download is in the description below. It has a clean layout and makes your note-taking so much easier. You can either copy by hand or take a screenshot, put a few of them on one page, print it out, cut and paste them onto the notebook. Trust me, the ROI of the time you spend doing this will be massive. Be sure to write down the correct answer with it. It's optional to write down the steps, which makes it easier to reference in the future. Trust me, having all your weak points meticulously documented in one place will be a game changer. Your Mistakes to Mastery notebook will become your personalized SAT math dojo, your secret weapon. With it, your past mistakes are forged into future score increases. So do it. And use it in the next step. Step 3, rework. Don't just review. Step 3 is where most students take a massive detour down the wrong path, because once you've got that beautifully organized notebook, what do most people do? They just glance over their mistakes, not wisely, and then promptly close the notebook, never to look at those specific problems again with serious intent. That's not learning. That's what I call math tourism. And then predictably, test day arrives and boom, you stumble over the exact same mistake again. So here's the critical fix. Don't just review your mistakes, rework them. That means cover up the solution, solve the problem from scratch, as if you've never encountered it before. Reworking this way forces your brain to actively rebuild the neural pathway that leads to the correct solution. Reviewing is passive. It leads to a false sense of familiarity. Reworking is active. It builds true mastery. There's nothing worse than feeling familiar with a problem on a test day while failing to solve it. So this is precisely why I built the STAR system into the Mistakes to Mastery notebook. Every time you correctly rework a problem entirely on your own, you give it a star. When a question earns 3 stars, it graduates from your active rework list. You may wonder, why do you need to rework them more than once? Well, now a little bit of brain science can explain. Scientists discovered over a century ago that we forget a startling amount of what we learn very quickly, up to 70% within the next 24 hours if we don't revisit it. After a week, you might only retain about 10%. So studying without reviewing is like pouring water into a leaky bucket. Your weekly rework routine patches that leak. By systematically reworking your mistakes about a week after you made them, right when they start to disappear from your memory, you tell your brain, hey, this is important, log this back in. So each week, you take out your notebook, rework the problems that haven't earned 3 stars. Your brain will be rewired to solving those problems correctly. It's kind of like muscle memory. And by doing this, all the problems that have earned 3 stars will be successfully transferred to your long-term memory, which we've called mastery. With these 3 steps, you're not guessing what to study. It's like having a private tutor. Right, your practice tests and the Mistake to Mastery notebook are literally handing you a personalized study plan for your SAT prep that aims to close all your gaps before test day. And your rework sessions are the actual process that you follow the study plan and close all the gaps. What happens when you have closed all your gaps by your test day? Yes, you get a perfect score. Now that you've got all 3 steps, let's make them into a weekly plan. These 3 steps, test, collect, rework, are the gears of a powerful weekly engine that drives consistent, measurable improvement. You can pick a day to do your practice test, say Saturday, just to coincide with the official SAT test day. And then on the same day, collect all your mistakes into the Mistakes to Mastery notebook. Then from Sunday to Tuesday, rework those questions in your notebook that haven't earned 3 stars. You can rest on SAT prep from Wednesday to Friday, or you can do another round of test, collect, rework, depending on your goals. If you let this cycle become your unwavering weekly rhythm, I guarantee that your progress will surprise you and you would be glad for putting in all these efforts after you see your next official score. Alright, so if you made it to the end, you've already demonstrated more focus and dedication than many other students. That commitment alone puts you significantly ahead of the curve. So here's what I want you to do right now to turn this strategy into action. Download this free Mistake to Mastery notebook template The link is waiting in the description box below. Get it now while it's fresh in your mind. Number 2, block off time in your calendar this week for your first full-length practice test. Comment below and tell me once you've done this. Number 3, commit to the following routine diligently for just 4 weeks. I guarantee you'll start seeing a tangible difference in your skills, your confidence, and your scores. And remember, succeeding on SAT math isn't about being some kind of math genius. It's about being consistent, strategic, and just a little bit stubborn about achieving your own potential. You absolutely have what it takes. Now go and earn that score.